Hi, and welcome to Skill Sprints. My name is Mark. Today's skill is variables and operators in JavaScript. Variables are the same as they were in your 7th grade algebra class. They are a holding space for a value. We're going to learn more about the types of values today on Skill Sprints. I've logged into Replit where I already have an account. Let's go ahead and create a new HTML, CSS, and JavaScript template. I'm going to call this variables. And then I'll click Create Replit, which will create my Replit environment. I'm going to delete the hello world from the HTML body text, and then move to the script.js file where I can write my JavaScript code. The first thing we need to understand about variables is that they need to be declared and initialized. The oldest way to declare variables is like this. Here, I've declared the variable with var. The variable's name is age, and it's been initialized with an initial value of 49. Var isn't used as much anymore as let. Here, we're assigning name, a variable, the initial value mark. Notice that we're terminating the statement with a semicolon. Part of the reason to use variables is that their value can change over the lifespan of the variable. On line 3, I've added 1 to the variable age, and the value stored within age is now 50. There is a special type of variable whose value can't change. That's called a constant. It's introduced with the keyword const. Here, I've declared a constant screen width as the value 800. That cannot change during the life of this program. If we were to try and change the value of screen width, it would be an error. In JavaScript, variables hold various types of values. They can be numerical values, string or text values, and Boolean values. Let's take a more careful look at these types of values, known as data types. The first are strings. Strings are simply a sequence of characters. It can be numerical characters, letters, or even grammatical symbols. Notice that the string value has quotes around it, which is how JavaScript identifies that particular data type as string. Next, we have numerical data. And this is simply a numerical value. It can be a whole number, it can have a decimal. JavaScript doesn't distinguish between whole numbers or integers and floating point numbers. Next is a Boolean. A Boolean is quite simply a true or false value. You can see that I've created a Boolean here called isMarkCool, and I've set the value to true. No quotes around the true, it's not a string, it's a Boolean. Null values are essentially intentionally empty values, and they're set just like that with the word null. JavaScript keeps track of the types of variables behind the scenes. For example, we could console log the type of any variable. Let's go with month. And we were to open the developer's tools, you could see here in the console, the result is string. Let's try it with a couple of the others. So now we have 3 variables here, and we're going to get the type of all 3 of them. And there you can see the first is a string, the next is a number, and the third is a Boolean, our true-false variable. Variables work hand in hand with variable operators. You've already seen a mathematical operator. The plus sign is the mathematical operator for addition. We could also use subtraction. We can divide. And we can multiply. We can also use operators to make comparisons. For example, the double equal sign is the comparison operator for equality. This would resolve as true, whereas would resolve as false. We can use these with strings as well. Month equals January would resolve as true. Month not equals January would resolve as false. These operators will make more sense in context when we work with conditional statements, which we'll do in our next skill sprint. I'll see you then.